You're listening to the Armchair GM Sports Network.
This is Rod Mahood, your in-game voice of the Niagara IceDogs, and you're listening to the Dog Pound Podcast on the Armchair GM Sports Network, your podcast source for all game analysis, team interviews, and up-to-date news regarding the Niagara IceDogs.
Perlini! Overtime! IceDogs win!
Hosing! Score!
To Akil Thomas. Thomas has the angle coming in. He scores!
Verhaeghe does it again! 52.1 seconds to go. Do you love it, Niagara?
Welcome into another episode of the Dog Pound Podcast, the official podcast of your Niagara IceDogs, proudly brought to you by Global Pet Foods, where pets are undeniably part of the family. Visit any 4 of their great Niagara region locations. Thank you to those today listening in on-demand audio. Make sure you're going to give us some love on whatever audio platform that is, as well as you can follow us at Dog Pound Podcast on X for all of our IceDogs content. And we're available on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff for you. And all of our episodes are also posted on YouTube in video form for some of them as well by searching the Armchair GM Sports Network on YouTube. So with that said, it's just myself today, no co-host Cam, as we're it's not really a game recap. We're essentially going over the trade deadline and just going to recap what the IceDogs have done. Today was the deadline. As of Wednesday of this recording on January 10th, the OHL Trade Deadline has come and passed, and the IceDogs did make some moves, acquiring some players and draft picks that we'll go over. We also have on this special edition episode for our trade deadline recap, we have GM Wes Consorti as well as IceDogs head coach Ben Boudreau to break it all down with what they brought in for their franchise moving forward for the rest of the 2023-2024 OHL season. So with that said, we're going to just quickly go over the trades, and then I'll obviously be discussing it with Wes and Ben in the interview segments today. So the IceDogs did acquire 4 third-round picks, 2 fourth-round picks, a 6th-round pick, an 8th-round pick, a 9th-round pick, goaltender Charlie Robertson from the North Bay Battalion, forward Callum Chanowski, a local product here from the Brantford Bulldogs, as well as big defenseman Mason Ray as well from the Brantford Bulldogs. And they also acquired rights to goaltender Anson Thornton from the Barrie Colts, who is still up with the AHL Tucson Roadrunners, so just some maintenance with that as well that Wes will get into about what that trade meant. So as far as the players that the IceDogs moved on from, Bronson Ride went to the North Bay Battalion in a major trade that involved draft picks and goaltender Charlie Robertson. Daniil Sobolev went to the Brantford Bulldogs in exchange for Callum Chanowski and Mason Ray in that deal as well. Zach Lavoie, in a separate deal, the IceDogs captain was dealt to the Brantford Bulldogs for 3 picks, including 2 third-round picks. Brody Crane was moved to the Guelph Storm in exchange for a 6th-round selection in the future as well. And then goaltender Charlie Burns was moved to the Erie Otters for a 10th-round pick, as well as that conditional 15th that Niagara still has at the moment. But if something happens with Anson Thornton, that pick would be going to the Barrie Colts. So that's basically a wrap-up of what the IceDogs were able to get on this trade deadline week leading up to it. 8 points out of a playoff spot. They have been playing better as of late, 4-5-1 in their last 10 under head coach Ben Boudreau. But obviously moves were going to have to be made, and that's the nature of junior hockey with the moves that we've seen all around the league as far as recouping draft picks for some of your older players. And we know that the IceDogs had upwards of 6 or 7 players that would have been overagers next year. So it was just, I guess housekeeping for the management to have to move on from a couple of those, as you could only keep 3 on your roster as you move forward. So with that, we're going to take you to our first segment today, and that is with IceDogs General Manager Wes Consorti on our monthly maintenance segment brought to you by Wild Bill's Auto Repair, helping customers stay safe and confident on the road in Niagara since 2012. in honor of their late William Robert Hunter. Here is Niagara IceDogs General Manager Wes Consorti following the OHL Trade Deadline. Back on our monthly maintenance, I guess, well, halfway through the month maintenance with IceDogs General Manager Wes Consorti. Wes, obviously the trade deadline has come and gone. Sure, it's been a busy whirlwind of a week for you and your staff. You made a lot of deals here. You know where the team is in the standings right now, even though head coach Ben Boudreau has them playing well over their last 10 games, 4-5-1. But, why were some of these trades, just in generality, a necessary thing for your franchise as you move forward?
Well, number one, you always want to focus on, the well-being of your players, too. Like, it's stressful for these guys to go, through it as well. So we're very mindful of that. And we want to make sure they're protected, professionally as well. We also want to make sure that, no information is being let out as well. So we thank everyone for being professional that way. But just in regards to the trades, the moves that we made, like I won't comment, respectfully, I won't comment for the, the players that aren't here anymore. But the guys that are here, we feel put us in a stronger position moving forward. Chinowski, Ray, and Robertson, like those are key pieces we're going to need today and in the future. So we feel good. The guys in the room feel good. The staff feel good. So, we're in a healthy position right now.
Breakdown of it is 4 thirds, 2 fourths, a sixth, an eighth, a ninth, goaltender Charlie Robertson, Callum Chinowski, and defenseman Mason Ray, as well as the rights to goaltender Anson Thornton, who's still up with the Tucson Roadrunners in the American Hockey League. So are you happy with the compensation that you were able to get for the 5 players that you did unfortunately have to move out?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you look what we have today in regards to, our young core group, everything that you just said is high priority to make sure that that group is given every chance. So even the players today, we're in a healthy position. On the draft board, in the room, we're in a good spot. And again, like everyone knows what we got in the room, and again, we're in a good spot.
Moved out some veterans, and obviously you'd expect that there would be some veterans that are still in that room to step up into leadership roles, and the guys that you've entrusted here, like Owen Flores, to be your starting goalie moving forward, and a couple of the other veterans as well. You moved on from an overager. So even though you've got a lot of young players in that room, do you still think that there's enough leadership within that locker room to be able to, look up to and be the guys that can be the next leadership group of the Niagara IceDogs?
100%. The right guys for sure. They know it. The guys in the room know it. The coaches know it. 100%. So, we're just excited to, start the next, I would call it the next season after the trade deadline. And, it's super stressful for these guys, and people forget how stressful and anxious, and there's a lot of uncertainty sometimes, and people forget that these are young men, and they have, this is their life too. And, it's very important that people stay professional throughout this process. And I hold that paramount. And the people in that room know that, and the people that left know that. The people coming in knew that, and the people we were dealing with knew that. So that's priority number one going into these situations.
GM Wes Consorti is with us. You look at the teams that did sell in the Eastern Conference, the Peterborough Petes and the Barrie Colts, the 2 teams that you're trying to catch right now for that final playoff spot in the Eastern Conference. With the way head coach Ben Boudreau has them playing right now, and with the guys that are in that room, and how much of a step forward your younger players have taken in their development and their growth as OHLers, 8 points doesn't seem like it's too out of reach right now, and it's something that is definitely, reachable before the end of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. Playoffs are in reach. 100% they are. There's 100% belief in our room that we're going to get there. So, we're playing well. It's a good group in there. Again, I don't want to keep repeating myself, but we feel we can get there. We're playing good, so just got to keep trending in the right direction and staying healthy and taking care of our bodies off the ice.
How happy are you with the way that the scouting staff was able to hit on basically 4 players, this season? Obviously, Ryan Robrick was the top pick, and Ethan Zada was the 5th overall pick, but also with the way Artem Frolov's played as a 16-year-old defenseman, logging big minutes. And it's not an easy thing to do in this league is play defense at 16 years old. And he's been a mainstay in the lineup. And even 4th-rounder Ivan Galyanov, who Adam Henrik said should have been a first-round pick, your director of scouting. So just speak to how important this year's draft class was for you and how all 4 of those guys are really making impacts and being, some of the go-to guys on the Niagara IceDogs right now.
Yeah, it's full credit to our scouting staff. And it's paramount that, we knew the position the organization was in and how important the 07 draft class was. Ryan Rubrick is a franchise hockey player. Ethan Zada is a franchise hockey player. Frolov is an outstanding defenseman, and Gally is I think the steal of the draft. I have a lineup of people that can attest to that. Our 07 group know what they are. Our room knows what they are. The league knows what they are. Everyone who watches them know it. These guys are top tier, in Ontario and I would even say in Canada. Like Ryan Robrick is an outstanding hockey player, and he is a special talent that is going to drive the Niagara IceDogs into a very, very promising spot. I can't say enough about our 07 group. They're just absolutely outstanding.
So you're 37 games in, 68 total games, so you got a little less than halfway left in the season to go here, and this is going to be your group moving forward. The deadline's over, so this is the team that you have. A couple of guys still waiting to come back from injury as well. So are you pleased with what you've given to this coaching staff as far as putting them in a position to succeed as far as being able to make a playoff push with the guys that you have in that room? As you spoke to us in the preseason, said that, these guys are gamers. This is a good group of guys, and you expect a lot from them. So as we move forward here with the last, 25 to 30 games or so, are you pleased with what that group is going to be like here as we kind of wrap up?
Yeah, absolutely. We have daily, conversations, weekly conversations. We feel good. The coaching, we have outstanding coaches. They have a great relationship with our players, and they have a great relationship outside, and everything is healthy right now, and health, on the ice and in the room, and in the coach's room is a great thing, and it's only going to bring success, and we're excited to get back at it.
Niagara IceDogs General Manager Wes Consorti on our monthly maintenance segment. Wes, thanks a lot for taking the time. I know it's been a busy week for you and your staff, so thanks for doing this, and look forward to what's to come for the team, until we talk again sometime in February.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
There was IceDogs General Manager Wes Consorti on our monthly maintenance segment, brought to you by Wild Bill's Auto Repair. Some good stuff there from Wes about the moves that were made and why some of those were paramount in order for the franchise to move forward here, as they have a long-term plan in place with some of the younger players and with head coach Ben Boudreau, and with what they're moving forward with the rest of the year. And the playoffs still aren't out of reach, and they're 100% going to try to make a playoff push, according to IceDogs General Manager Wes Consorti. Only 8 points out, and the 2 teams in front of them in Peterborough and Barrie did sell heavily at the trade deadline. So the IceDogs do believe that they are on a trajectory that they could get there. So we'll have to see what happens, especially this week against the Barrie Colts and the Flint Firebirds. Those are 2 almost must-win games, lower teams in the standings and teams that they would obviously need to catch if they were to make the playoffs. So with that, we're going to take a commercial break on today's show. We're going to come back, and we're going to get head coach Ben Boudreau's thoughts in Inside the Coach's Room, our monthly maintenance segment with him for that as well. So stay right here. We'll be right back on a special edition of the Dog Pound Podcast for our trade deadline recap, the official podcast of your Niagara IceDogs, proudly brought to you by Global Pet Foods, where pets are undeniably part of the family.
In the Niagara region, Global Pet Foods is your destination for premium pet nutrition and caring expertise. Whether you've welcomed a new furry family member or need advice on top quality nutrition, their dedicated staff is ready to help. Discover why Global Pet Foods' lesser-known premium brands outshine the big corporate names. Their team's passion ensures your pet's health and vitality. Check out one of their locations today, 3643 Portage Road in Niagara Falls, 160 Highway 20 in Font Hill, or 400 Scott Street and 344 Glendale Avenue in St. Catharines. Global Pet Foods, where premium brands and caring staff make the difference.
Wild Bill's Auto Repair is your local center for auto maintenance and repair in the Niagara region. Since 2012, Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop has been helping customers stay safe and confident on the road, knowing their vehicles in top running condition through their services. Located at 7868 Oakwood Drive in Niagara Falls, the garage started as a tribute to the owner's father, William Robert Hunter, who passed away, continuing the same community spirit and high level of service which customers came to expect from him back at Hunter's Auto Repair. Their multi-award-winning auto shop has earned the trust of the Niagara community with its fair treatment of all customers, who can feel confident they'll get the trustworthy advice and repairs during their visit. Their experienced crew loves meeting new people and looks forward to forming a lasting partnership for the care of your cars. To find out more or to book a service, contact them today, 905-358-7868 or wildbillsauto.ca. Wild Bill's Auto Repair, helping customers stay safe and confident on the road since 2012.
Since 1999, Niagara Dental Clinic has been helping thousands of patients achieve natural-looking smiles with the confidence to show them off. Sean Battelle and his wife Anne, both licensed denturists, bring a wealth of skill and experience to the warm and friendly atmosphere to their Niagara Falls location at 5501 Drummond Road. And their on-site Niagara Hearing Clinic offers free hearing tests and a variety of services to fit your needs. This family-run practice takes pride in providing superior care and service to their patients, along with the best premium products available on the market. Get the best work done at a more reasonable price. Niagara Dental Clinic is here to help. Protect your teeth with a mouth guard, replace missing teeth, and get better hold with your dental implants. Call them today for a free consultation at 905-353-1552 or check them out online at niagaradentalclinic.com. Niagara Dental Clinic, creating natural smiles in the Niagara region for 25 years. J&L Flooring is Niagara's specialty flooring and design company. They take great pride and provide elite customer service and support. With a beautiful showroom, great pricing, and a wide variety of truly unique products, J&L Flooring is your specialty flooring and decor boutique shop. All of their products are environmentally friendly and responsibly produced so you can feel good about your flooring choices. Their goal is to build authentic relationships based on honesty and integrity that they foster with respect and authenticity. Offering a unique and wide range of quality products presented by a knowledgeable and patient team, they simplify the process to make your life easier and to make your home more beautiful. Visit them at 4424 Montrose Road in Niagara Falls or find out more at jnlflooring.com. If you think you can get a better deal anywhere else, you don't know Jack at J&L Flooring.
This is Alex Asadorian.
Hey, it's Ryan Roberg.
Bronson Ride.
This is Gavin Bryant.
And you're listening to the
Dog Pound Podcast,
the official podcast of the Niagara IceDogs.
Welcome back to part 2 of today's special edition of the Dog Pound Podcast, the official podcast of your Niagara Ice Dogs, proudly brought to you by Global Pet Foods, where pets are undeniably part of the family. This is our trade deadline recap show here on this Wednesday evening. The OHL Trade Deadline has come and passed, and the Ice Dogs have made some moves. We heard from GM Wes Consorti in the first segment today, and we're going to hear from head coach Ben Boudreau right now. So it's only myself today, Brandon Caputo. I'm not joined by my usual co-host Cam Halbert for this special edition episode, but we will be back to our regularly scheduled game recaps for this weekend's home games for the Niagara Ice Dogs. So with that said, our Inside the Coaches Room segment is brought to you by the Niagara Employment Help Center, helping people find work in Niagara since 1983. Check out their up-to-date job board at ehc.on.ca to find your next work opportunity today. Here is Ice Dogs head coach Ben Boudreau on his thoughts on the trade deadline and what his lineup card is going to look like moving forward here as the head coach. Back in Inside the Coaches Room, brought to you by the Niagara Employment Help Center with Ice Dogs head coach Ben Boudreau for our, half-monthly wrap-up Coach, obviously the trade deadline happened this week, so it's been a whirlwind, I'm sure, for you and your coaching staff trying to piece together some lines and some new guys coming in, but just generalities, obviously. Some of the veterans leaving your room, so there's going to have to be other guys stepping up. So how pleased are you with what you have in that room right now that, those guys can step up and try to make a playoff push here 8 points out?
Well, actually, when you look at our trend, I think 2-0-1 in our last 3, 4-5-1 and 0 in our last 10. I mean, we're going in the right direction, especially when you compare it to the last year and a half. And you could say all types of variables have come into play. And you look at that 6 weeks, we just had a horrific blend of injuries and sicknesses. And, it was tough to even fill the roster, I think, for great games. And I don't think we won too many of those. So when you look at the trend, when we actually have our guys and the ones that have been contributing, it has been the Zotas, it has been the Rubrics. It's been Gavin, it's been Levin, Padre. You've got Sick in there. That's the longest drafted Niagara guy. I think what you're seeing is an semblance of a core coming together that can grow and build together for something that's down the road while staying competitive, throughout the year here this year. So it gives us a 1-2 good punch with the trades for the goalies. Gives us a puck-moving defenseman that's a local guy that's going to play with pride, being from Niagara, and Callum Chanowski, a Golden Horseshoe Hockey School graduate at that. It gives us some good depth with size and a young 17-year-old with good hockey experience, and Mason Ray. And then you look at the draft picks that we recouped, and you've got, second round, you've got three-round picks, 2 fourths, a fifth, sixth, and an eighth, in order to go out there and support some of the core groups that we have right now. Now you have an semblance of a plan for sustainability going ahead, and then you've also got guys in the room right now that the core drivers are only going to get better as they get older. So you have a lot of hope in the Niagara dressing room right now between the coaches and the players and having a plan to win going forward. So there's optimism on the daily basis, especially when you're winning hockey games.
And you did move out 4 skaters, but as you mentioned, the growth of some of those younger players, especially your 4 07s that are playing, big-time minutes for you right now, is that a little bit easier to kind of make some of those moves because you have so much confidence in those young players that you have in your room right now being able to step up with having upwards of 8 or 9 guys out of the lineup for, half a season now?
Well, especially when you look at some of the things like we recouped, the picks for Zach Boy, and you say, it's tough trading your captain. I mean, I said it, but then you also look at 44 last game, and the drivers of the lines, have been the Kevin Hees and Zotas and Rubrics and Paris, and those are all the young guys that have been stepping up. So even though you lose your captain, you can go off to, different things, and we recoup our picks. I think it's a win-win for both sides. And, losing Sobolev, who played top minutes, that's going to be a tough replacement. But we've got a group that's going to connect and buy in defensively and help one another out. So moves are a great part on our organization for a plan going forward. But it is the young guys that are driving the team right now, and it's going to be the young guys that deliver something in the future.
And you talked about Owen Flores being the guy that you lean on, and Charlie Burns didn't get a start during his time here. He's moved on to Erie. So with Charlie Robertson coming in, you spoke about him with the local connection there, and obviously he's played behind a great goaltender in Dom DiVincentis up in North Bay. So how confident are you in Robertson's abilities that, to give Flores a night off here and there, that Charlie's going to be able to go in there and give you guys a chance to win as well?
Well, you're going to have to find out if you can, confidence given in hand is going to be that he has to go out there and earn. I mean, nothing is given free in this world. You want to give him that opportunity to ride with it, and everything else is going to be, on his back to see how he can play. But if we didn't see potential in him, we would have. Same thing. We hope he turns out. We've heard great things here. So when he gets a chance to play, it's going to be all on him on whether or not he gives confidence in other ones around him. So I've liked what I've seen so far in practice. He's a great, hard-working kid, and I can't wait to see what he's got in the game here.
Head coach Ben Boudreau is with us. So as you move forward here, Coach, you've obviously played 37 games into the season here. And you look at the teams ahead of you in the standings, and Peterborough and Barrie, those are 2 teams that really were heavy sellers at the trade deadline. So how big would it be for the confidence and just the experience of the group, this young group that you have, if you were able to sneak in that 8th spot? And I know you're planning for the future, but if you were able to move up there and continue to develop and continue to play well, as you said, 4-5-1 the last 10, and playing 500 hockey, subpar. So how would you say, if you guys were able to get up there, would that be a positive for your group? And just how confident are you with the development of some of these guys that is a real possibility right now?
Yeah, I think especially right now, it's really important that these kids are playing everything along those lines at the same time. But we've got a lot of faith in this group that we have. And when you talk about making a playoff spot, that's going to be our intention. When you look at Barrie, and what they did at the playoffs, and same thing with Peterborough, I mean, I think those teams we can catch, especially because we're trending in the right direction. So, we've got to win some games. At the same time, they've got to lose some games. But we're 8 points out. We've got a 4-point game heading into tomorrow. Hopefully, you have a good weekend here. You get Asadorian back in the lineup hopefully next week, and then you can get some things going. So, like I said, this is a glass half full type deal, and every single day we're coming into the rink right now, and there's excited about the optimism, not only now, but rolling into the future.
So you're missing a C right now with Zach Lavoie being moved out. Is that something that you plan to do right away, or are you going to kind of let it marinate a bit and you know the leaders in that room, but do you want to see somebody kind of step up that can earn that role, or do you plan on naming one, in the somewhat near future here?
We have named one, and it will be announced before the game tomorrow and Thursday.
Okay, perfect. So with that said, Coach, I mean, you're awaiting the return of Alex Asadorian too, so it looks like from what the moves have been made, are you confident in the lineup card that you're going to be given here with the guys that are available to put together 4 solid lines of forwards, 3 lines of defense, and be able to go out there and be competitive on a nightly basis here?
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's why we got to play the games. And, I mean, we beat some of the top teams in this league and in our division with thin lineup. So it doesn't matter who's in or who's out. I mean, as long as they're all willing to play the same way, we're going to give ourselves the best chance to win. And the games that we have won, we see a collective group out there all on the same page. And like I said, it's been the young guys that are going to be the future of this organization. But they're really pushing this team now. So that's why there's optimism. That's why there's belief. That's why there's support. And for us, that's really important to make sure we keep that alive. So, like every single game, we know Rubrick's getting better, and Dobbs is getting better, and Galley, and Frolov, and Kevin, and we don't want that. So we like this direction. We're very confident in what we have. We understand how young we are, and maybe optically how some of the trades look. But as far as the belief goes, the Niagara IceDogs got a lot better today going into the future.
And lastly, as you look ahead to tomorrow and what you're demanding of these players, as far as this is a big weekend coming up with Barrie and Flint, those are 4 key points for your hockey club right now. Just with some of the new guys in the room, how do you feel like that they've adjusted so far to what you've been asking, but also fitting in with their teammates as well, as obviously that's part of it. They're going to be around those guys all the time. So with the 3 guys that you did bring in, how do you think that they're fitting in with the room and just, the general team cohesion and what you're looking for as a coach going into an important weekend here?
Well, there's a couple things that you look at. One, the players are coming from, contending playoff teams right now to a team that's on the outside of the picture. So, that's always a little bit of a letdown as the player. But at the same time, on an individual level, they're coming here to have a bigger role than probably where they were with an older team. And so, I think it's really important to see what Charlie Robertson is going to end up here. I know he's going to have friends and family in the crowd when he does get his first start, and that's going to be really important to him and us as well. Callum Chanowski, born and raised kid. Actually, we as the Boudreau family's got a hockey school for 41 years here in the Golden Horseshoe Hockey School, and Callum Chanowski's a grad. So, seeing him develop as a young kid in our hockey school in front of the Boudreau family and now playing for the IceDogs, in front of his hometown friends and family, I think that's going to be another big thing. And then you've got him for years to come. We know what he's like as a kid. Great characteristics. I mean, he fits in very easy, but I think he's going to be a heck of a hockey player here one day. So, you take all those things, and that makes 2 exciting local products. connect with the fans. I think that's extremely important to this region and the area. So they've fit in, like they've been here all season. And then at the same time, too, Mason Ray's got OHL connections with his father already coaching in this league. But here's another kid that's going to be thrust into a situation as a young kid with size to develop and play with opportunity. So it should be exciting on an individual level to see what he has here.
Well, Coach, thanks so much for another in-depth chat here on Inside the Coaches Room with IceDogs head coach Ben Boudreau. Coach, look forward to talking to you tomorrow as we move forward here. And right now the Barrie Colts, as the time of recording this, are on the Meridian Center ice practicing, getting ready to go for tomorrow since their game against the Erie Otters was canceled tonight. So look forward to seeing what the IceDogs can do tomorrow night with somewhat of a new look group.
Perfect. Send me their secrets, whatever you see out there, Brandon. Appreciate it.
Sounds good, Coach. There was IceDogs head coach Ben Boudreau on another installment of Inside the Coaches Room, brought to you by the Niagara Employment Help Center. As we wrap up there, he basically in general terms said we like the group that we have in that room right now, and we have a lot of belief that we're going to be able to make a push here and mold these guys into the way that we want the Niagara IceDogs to play. And he believes in those guys being able to do that and continue the development of some of these younger players. He did also say that the team would announce a captain before tomorrow night's game against the Barrie Colts, so we'll look forward to the new C as they did move Zach Lavoie today to the Brantford Bulldogs in that trade. So they're going to need a new captain and a new voice in that room as far as the C goes, and Ben Boudreau is obviously confident in those guys and what they're able to do the rest of the season. So that's going to wrap up a special edition of our Dog Pound podcast, the official podcast of your Niagara IceDogs, brought to you by Global Pet Foods, where pets are undeniably part of the family and their 4 great Niagara region locations, and our special OHL Trade Deadline show. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed that. We'll be back for more game recap analysis with Cam Halbert and myself, Brandon Caputo, going forward here on the Dog Pound podcast. Make sure to give us some love on whatever audio platform you listen to us today, and as well on our Twitter account at Dog Pound Podcast. We're also available on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads if you guys are into that as well. And all of our episodes are posted on demand on YouTube as well. So until next time, this has been a special edition of the Dog Pound Podcast, the official podcast of your Niagara IceDogs, proudly home of the Armchair GM Sports Network. My name is Brandon Caputo, and until next time, we'll talk to you again very soon.